All right, so I've been wanting to get my hands on the new DeepSeek models, and I just happened to stumble upon Ollama actually released the models here. They're available to pull down. So I'm going to go through the process of grabbing one of these models and running it here. You can see there are a lot of choices available for the R1 model. Lots of different sizes you can pick from here. Pick one that's going to fit on your machine. I've got a Mac. I've got like 50 gigs of RAM, so I'm assuming I could easily run this 32 billion parameter model version. And so if I want to pull that down to my machine, I could just copy the slug here. By the way, I should say, before I do that, you want to check the releases for Ollama. Make sure you're up to date with the latest version, because I believe somewhere in here you can see there is an update. This is 055. So that supports DeepSeek v3, which possibly has some implications for R1 as well. So just make sure you're up to date on Ollama. Over here at the command line, just start up serving Ollama. Do that in a separate window. And then down below here, I'll list out my models. I only have one on this account here. So basically, I just need to do an ollama and a poll here, specify the slug I copied from the library there over on their website. Give that a second. It's going to take some time because it's 20 gigs. While that's downloading, I want to show you something else out here on ollama.com in the library. If you want, you can search for the V3 model. So this is DeepSeek-V3. This is a separate repository or whatever they call it here. It's got a different name, basically. Click into here. If you want, you can grab this model. However, the only problem with this one is they only have one version available. It is the 671 billion parameter model, clocking in at 400 gigabytes. So unless you have a ton of video RAM and a massive machine, probably not going to be running that anytime soon. So I just wanted to point out that's available as well. I think it's pretty cool that both of their state-of-the-art models, the V3 one is behind their chat model, R1 is behind their reasoning model. It's pretty cool that both of these are available for you to pull down and actually run on your own machine. All right, once that's done here, then all right, so up on top, I've got the serve here. Down below, I'm going to run an ollama and a run. And I can specify that new DeepSeek model. Give that a second to load. All right, so it looks like I can actually ask a question here. So what do I want to ask? I can ask it to show me Python for Tower of Hanoi. Give that a second to load things. Wow, that's incredibly fast for that all to load that quickly. I thought it would actually take some time to bring that model into memory, but it's not. That is cool. And you can see the token right here is impressive. This is their 32 billion parameter model. Of course, it's quantized. Nonetheless, you can see it's running plenty fast here. I couldn't even keep up with this by just reading it alone. Yep, so it's explaining the algorithm here for moving n disks and then n-1 disks. You can see it's reasoning with itself. You can see, wait, but I should actually make sure that each move is printed or logged. Come on, give me an answer already. All right, so we finally have some code here. That's great. All right, so can I just take the code it generated here? Copy that. Here is the supposed code. Let's just run this and see what happens. All right, moving disk 1 from A to C. At least the code works. Give me a second here. And yeah, just upon initial inspection, it looks like this is correct here. I've got an example of it over here on the right. You can see the minimum moves for 3 disks is 7. It's got 3 disks here. So yeah, it's got the correct answer here. That looks great. And then one last thing here. So I've got a little command line helper where I can ask a question here, like show me huge files. And if I want that to work with this model here, actually, I'll come back over here. Down below, I'm going to kill off the chat down below here. Down below, I'm going to use ask_use. And I've got an entry in here to use ollama. This basically wires up the API. You'll see the request up above here in a second. I'll clear that out. And then I just need to specify the DeepSeek model. So I can use that and then show me huge files. And when I run that, there you go. You can see the models loading up above. And yeah, it's actually reasoning through this. So probably not a good example of somewhere where I want to use this because I just want the actual command to be generated. But hey, you can see it's at least working here via the API. So that is the OpenAI compatible API. You can use that as well. So give this a try if you haven't and see what you think about it. See what you think about a reasoning model versus a chat model that just gives you a single simple answer.